Hello viewers, today we're going to be changing out the ceiling fan in the bedroom. I'm going to record both with the GoPro camera and with this regular camera. I think that the GoPro version is the preferred version, but I don't know that for certain, and perhaps there's still some people that prefer the regular camera version instead. It doesn't take much to turn on the regular camera as well. So we'll do both, and now I have to reintroduce the video for this camera. I should have turned it on prior. Hello viewers, today we're going to be installing a Hunter Beacon Hill ceiling fan into the bedroom. And this is being recorded, this is so redundant. This is being recorded with both the regular camera and the GoPro camera. So if you're watching on this regular camera version and you prefer the GoPro camera, a link to the opposing video will be provided in the video description that of course nobody reads for some reason. So we currently have in here a Hampton Bay Huntington 3 in the polished brass. Very nice fan. I really like this model. This will definitely be reappearing somewhere else in the house, probably very soon. But for now, we're going to change to the Hunter Beacon Hill. I'm going to get started taking this down, and then I'll describe the backstory while I work. And there is quite a backstory to this install. Now, if I recall correctly, this was a bit difficult to get up because the medallion kind of covers the canopy screws. So this might be a bit annoying, and perhaps with the Beacon Hill we're going to have to cancel out the medallion because I think the Beacon Hill canopy might be a little bit wider, and then we'll run into a problem. So the Beacon Hill was a fan I had back in the 2000s, very late 2000s, maybe even not until, no, it would have been the late 2000s. When we moved to the old location, there were no ceiling fans, and so I had the option to partially choose a ceiling fan for my bedroom. Oh boy, I lost a lock washer up there. And I say partially choose because of course it was the same thing where it had to be a small white fan. Couldn't be anything normal size, couldn't be anything with wood on it or brass. So I settled on the Beacon Hill. I don't recall exactly why. I think it was because the store Ace Hardware had opened up recently, and we had gone there a couple of times, and I remember seeing the Hunter fans sold there, including the Beacon Hill. And the Ace Hardware was a reasonable quality store. It wasn't, like a discount or a cheapo store. And I knew that Hunter had a pretty good reputation, so I figured that the Beacon Hill was kind of a safe bet in terms of quality. So I opted for the Beacon Hill. I wanted the brass one very bad, and I fought for it hard, but of course I lost and ended up with the stinking white one. And it was a good fan. It was a good fan for several years until it developed the infamous Hunter bearing tick. But it was powerful and quiet. It was pretty good, but it wasn't brass. A couple months ago I came across a Hunter Beacon Hill new in the box in bright brass, and I got it. So now, some odd 15 years later, the dream comes true. I will install a Hunter Beacon Hill in bright brass in the bedroom. And of course there's, many other fans I like more than the Hunter Beacon Hill that I could use at this point, but nostalgia wins every time. Now I also went and got the white Beacon Hill back from the old location. I have that over here now, and I think I will install that somewhere simultaneously with this one. Kind of makes the most sense to put it in the, wow, this is dirty. It makes the most sense to put it in the media room because it'd be the right size, but I think it's going to go in the computer room because I'll be able to stand in the hallway and see them side by side in both finishes. I had wanted to install a white Huntington, I have a white Huntington 3 as well, in the computer room while this was in here, and I just didn't get around to it. But like I said, this will be back at some point, probably soon, and we can do that dual setup at that time. So this was starting to droop a bit. The irons, they seem like they might be a touch loose. The blades themselves seem perfectly straight still. So I guess it's got to be something with these grommets. Yeah, that's kind of what it seems like. I don't know, maybe these screws came loose? I don't know. Something weird is up with these things drooping. It's very consistent, but I just don't understand exactly what it is that causes it. I'm sure that the humidity has a lot to do with it as well. Normally it's pretty dry in the house, and I haven't really noticed it droop at all up until more recently. And it's been about a month or so that I've had the windows open because it just wasn't hot enough to use the air conditioners, and it got kind of humid out and in, and I'm wondering if that's kind of what caused some of the droopage. Oh, I forgot about the lengthy lead wire in there. And maybe we'll put this in the living room. Is that lock washer up? Yes, it is. We got to do a good clean on that before we put it away. I will try with the medallion first, but I'm definitely not sure that it's going to work. Oh, it's kind of dirty up there too. Huh. That's odd. All right, let's get this cleaned up and back in the box. I'm going to put on this fan because it's getting a little bit warm here. I was not able to put this ring on because the medallion was in the way. This truly looks pretty realistic for being a cheesy piece of plastic. I think it came with light bulbs. Yeah, these are probably 60 watts. I used 11. I don't recall that being there before I, what is that? I don't know what that is. At least it come off. That's kind of weird. I have no idea what that is. Very strange. I don't have a dimmer in this room yet, so I just use these little S11 or S14, whatever it is, bulbs. 11 watts incandescent. It looks nice on the fan. Doesn't do much to light up the room, but I don't use the light for that. I just use the lamps to light up the room. Pretty sure those are incandescent bulbs it came with back in the good old days of incandescent. I guess I should dust in here more often. This thing is filthy. You see something fling out of there? Bulbs included. And they're actually good ones too. Put this other microphone by the squeaky stool. These blades are all perfectly flat. The blades themselves are not warped. And the iron sure didn't look warped either. I think it might all be residing in those grommets. Okay, the Huntington 3 has been reboxed. Okay, now we have to unbox the Hunter. So this says CFM. Now mind you, this is a 42-inch fan. It says high speed 7,100 CFM. Okay, we're back from a battery failure. And low is 2,900 CFM. RPM is 230 on high, 95 on low. I do recall this being an extremely powerful fan, but I think that that's a bit much. Okay, there is some evidence of some tampering having gone on here, which is never good. So this is bright brass, or what the rest of the world calls polished brass. I don't like the Hunter bright brass. It's very chrome-like. Doesn't have a nice yellow tone to it. Yeah, we're not going to be able to use the medallion with this because the bracket is wider than the hole in the medallion itself. So hopefully the canopy is so wide it'll just cover the damage to the ceiling. Huh, these screws barely fit through here. It's kind of weird. I wonder if this one's a little bit older than the white one that I have. The bracket seems to be of slightly different design. I think I recall the other one being a circular design with the 3 screws. This is rectangular with only 2. And how is it that you hang the fan? Okay, I see the hooks there. So we have 2 very different tones and blades to choose from. We have the walnut, I think it is, and does it say what this is? They're both pretty nice finishes. It's gotta say it somewhere. Rosewood and medium oak. So this, I guess, is what they're calling medium oak. To me, that's more of a light oak, and this is probably the rosewood. I think we're going to go with the rosewood as shown on the box. The light appears to be in good condition. Well, this is kind of a weird setup here. It does have long lead wires, and that's an abysmally small down rod. What the heck is that about? Might as well just use a flush mount at that point. I feel like this all should have been in a piece of plastic originally. I don't like that the finish is sitting up against the styrofoam. Sometimes bad things happen over time when it's like that. Alright, so it's got, this is heavy. This is a pretty substantial fan. I recall it being quite powerful. So we got to put the down rod on, and the canopy has to go on first. And it does include the switch cap, so we could use it without the light, but we're going to use it with the light. Oh, this is definitely older. It's from 2002. At least I think that's what that denotes. Yeah, this is from 2002, probably the 17th week of 2002. So this is almost a decade older than the other one that I have. Maybe it is more powerful than, I don't know. I doubt it. I think they're about the same. I think the specs at this time were just exaggerated. Don't tell me what to do. This isn't open? How the heck are we supposed to install the fan? Now it's the open. This is the shortest, most ridiculous down rod I've ever seen. This is going to make for a difficult install too. There's not a lot of room to work with. Why the heck such a short rod? I find that very dumb. This tiny little rod and these ridiculous, what is this, 4-foot lead wires? Nope. I guess this is make it easy to install into the living room. I do want to do that at some point because if I recall correctly, this is probably powerful enough to move some air around in there pretty well. I don't know about 7,000 CFM worth, but a decent amount. If nothing else, I'm just curious to see how it'll perform. This is a dumb way to connect the down rod, in my opinion. It's a screw-on thing, and then you have to put the set screw in to stop it from threading out. Problem is, if you put the set screw in too tight, you damage the threads and you can't get the down rod off anymore. So I much prefer the conventional method that the Huntington uses and most of the rest of the world uses, which you just slide the pin through. I will tighten this down, but not very much. Probably just one. You're kidding. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
You are stupid. You are dumb, stupid, deranged, idiotic, immoral, unethical. Okay, that takes care of that one. I can recognize that stupid little computer voice. That one's been calling all the time lately. That's it. I don't want to tighten it past that because it's just gonna damage the threads. Dumb design. Very dumb design. Alright. Now we have an excessive amount of lead wires that we're gonna have to do something with. Alright, we'll just slip that up inside the box. Okay. Let's get this on the ceiling. Now, for all the people that are going to say, oh, you were just talking to a computer. No, it's not. There's a person that's playing stupid computer-generated audio prompts, but they're 100% with somebody listening to that call and hearing all those accurate statements I read into the telephone, which is why the call was immediately canceled out, because he or she realized I'm not going to fall for whatever dumb, stupid scam was trying to come through the line. And yes, I did answer the phone even though I didn't recognize the number. That's very important to do. Oh, it just occurred to me I should have set up the light prior to hanging. It would have been easier to do it on the ground. Oh well. Well, you know what? You have to put the blades on first anyway, so I can't do that regardless. Jeez, I did not give myself much lead wire to work with here out of the ceiling. I had to go up in the attic and push some more of the wire through. There's not much to work with at all. Alright, that's just going to have to sit in the canopy. There's too much of it. I wonder if these twist-on wire connectors came with the Huntington. I don't normally use this kind. Those ones are the ones I usually use. I guess the third time's a charm when getting these wires stuffed up in there. I got it. It's a very tight fit though. It's a lot of wire in there. And the connections I'll just leave down here. I think that technically is allowed to have the connections enclosed within the canopy. Pretty sure that's allowed. Alright, now we gotta get some canopy screws. Those are all the blade screws. Those are the motor screws. Where are the canopy screws? Oh no. I think that the canopy screws are MIA. Nope, they're not MIA, they're just somewhere else. Oh, this isn't opened either. Just gonna bring the cutting apparatus into the room at this point, because we're gonna need it to open the blades also. Why put it in two pieces of plastic film? Oh, more plastic film. This is ludicrous. There's 3 canopy screws. Or are those not the canopy screws? No, I think these are the canopy screws. And here's the washers I always talk about for putting inside the mounting bracket. Are there 2 screw holes on that one side? That was pretty easy. It's a reasonable enough mounting system. And there's only 1 screw hole, so I guess there's just an extra screw. This is one of the more convenient places to work on the fans because you can walk around the whole fan and access it like this easily. And there's a big hole here, so we gotta do something about that. Not good. Alright, now we'll remove these stoppers. I never really understood why these are necessary. They're a little bit sticky. This screw is not threading out properly. That's not good. It's all mangled up at the end. It's like the threads are missing. Well, unfortunately, Hunter's decline was definitely beginning by the 2000s. Still a very good product, but not what it used to be. Remove shipping blocks before operating fan. Don't tell me what to do. I think those are supposed to go up in between the box and the bracket. Oh well. 4. I thought I heard something hit the floor. 2, 4, 6. Oh, there's an extra one. I'll try to find it though. There it is. Okay. Now we're ready to assemble the blades. Looks like the finish might be slightly deteriorating on the canopy. Just looks a little weird in some angles. I think it is slightly deteriorating, unfortunately. Well, it is getting old and it was sitting up against the styrofoam, so not ideal. Yeah, we use the rosewood. It's a nice finish. They're both nice finishes, but I think that the darker one looks better with the brass. Oh, this doesn't have the dumb grommets. That's nice. The other one that I have has this pesky grommets. Yeah, so this is a totally different fan. It might perform differently. It's getting cold. It's already 54 degrees out and it's only about 7 o'clock. This fan is not very useful without an additional wall control for the winter time because it runs way too fast on low. And yes, I realize that the other camera is not looking at the fan correctly. This is that messed up screw. The GoPro video is going to be intrinsically better in terms of the filming quality. serious problems here. I wonder if that's the hole that the messed up screw was in. Yeah, it does look like it might have been. Let's see. Well, since there was an extra blade screw, we're just going to cancel that one out. Don't need it. No point in using something that's messed up. Nothing good is going to come out of using that screw. Okay, so I think we have to take this light apart to mount it. This works differently than the other one that I have does. This is very different, actually. So maybe that's what these screws are for. We have 3 of any screw left? No, we have, oh yes, we have 3 of these left. I don't see why it needs something so long, but I imagine that this is what it is. And where are those screws? Huh. I don't know. Are they within this thing? No, that's not conceivable. Huh. Well, that's a problem. Unless I just use... Well, let's see. Are these the correct screws that go into the... Where do they even go? Okay. It's these 3 outer. That's very, very small. Alright, we definitely have, I think we have some screws missing. And these screws, do these go into here? No, those don't go into there either. I don't know what. Unless these are for the flush mount. Those might be for the flush mounting. And then these are extra blade screws? I don't know. Well, that's disappointing. I have no idea what the thread spec is supposed to be for those screws, and I can't just easily take that part off and bring it to the store to get new ones. At least I don't think I can. Can I? Does it just screw off? No, if it does, it doesn't come off with a reasonable amount of force. Okay, well that's annoying. That stinks. We are definitely missing some parts here. Wait a minute. Here we go. They are here. Here they are. Okay, we're not missing any parts. This is a pretty time-consuming install. There's just a lot of steps here. Certainly more than you get with the Quick Connect. I'll use that for a thumbnail. Why is it not threading in? This screwdriver is not exactly the right size for this. This is a prime example of why you need the right size screwdriver. This has regular E26 light sockets. The other one that I have has stinking candelabras. If I recall correctly, that was some kind of energy thing. I don't know what that would do though. I mean, I guess it would prevent people from using 100 watts? I don't know. Okay, now we're almost done. For some reason, Hunter never included pull fobs with the fans. I don't know why. Really doesn't make any sense. So there's none on here, as there never are when it comes to Hunter. And we need to use the pull chains in this install because I don't have a wall control yet, so I'll probably just grab some random oak colored ones and throw them on here. Doesn't seem like it's hanging straight to me. These are nice heavy shades. Installation complete.